This is the introduction of the Fall 2025 collection. There's a lot going on this season. There's always a fun little story behind each collection where everything is thought about to the nth degree. The shapes this season we're playing with again are geometrics, scaled up squares, scaled up rounds, and just a lot of excitement added to the Seraphin. Just continuing the story of that real professional button-down look. Lots of intricacies with the detailing, custom barrel hinges, platforms for the hinges that have either some tooling or they have bordering. And this is something to note is just because of our scale, we're a little bigger than a boutique company, so the value add on the Seraphin collection is this ability to have all this like custom temple work with the metals, the stamping. Sometimes we put fleur-de-lis patterns into the core wires of the temple core wire stampings, customization on the metal colors. So there's a lot of custom work and hand polishing and finishing in the product, which gives it its independent sort of point of view, and it also feels much more original as well, which we're able to do with these looks that sometimes in these classic looks, you're kind of working within a framework and it looks almost too boring, but we try not to do that at all. So we kind of bump up the shapes so they're a little more fun. We have the metal also in temple, the gradient colors. And I really have been working on these other shapes just to add dimension to the collection. We have the rounds, the squares, the rectangles. Then in the main, this is another really great button down look for a guy. Good rectangle, beautiful matte finishes, and then you have this stamping and hand painted element that is sort of mimicking the pattern in a fine suit or something like that. It's not quite a herringbone, but it sort of has a feeling like something that's more traditional. Notice the color selection. So we really haven't done bright brassy metals. We've antiqued them, toned them down. And then the Malcolm is a thinner rectangle, and it has this custom stamping and coining on the temple, but it's very lightweight stainless steel. Now the Malibu is interesting, another good handsome rectangular shape. And then we have the metal work on the temple combined with the acetate. But if you notice the tortoise inlay, that's a process we do with the metal. See also with the olive color, that is a foil that then they bake the foil onto the metal and it creates that surface that emulates the pattern in the acetate. And we go to this actual company in Italy that just makes the foils. And so this is what we have to understand is that just the meticulousness, like to try to match an acetate, we have to go to a specialized company just doing the foil only to supply it to the factory. Because I feel like the tradition of Italian craftsmanship and color work, they're such masters at the colors, so that's how we get these beautiful foil finishes. We never stop, always wanting to improve things, make them unique. This is the Manor, which I think is a really just nice looking, easy to wear metal. Metals are trending back. We're seeing these shapes that are either a square or a geometric. They're happening with these antique finishes, looking very rich. We have, this is really, really cool, the Niagara, where it reveals the architecture in there. So you see the core wire with the striped, and then you have this special little coin sort of detail at the end that we added as a dimensional surface detail. And this is one of my favorites in Seraphin right now. Of course, much more editorial, a little more of a push, but always showing you how you can take a classic look and elevate it. This would be somebody who really wants even more distinction in their eyewear. You look at it in the light and you're like, wow, these colors are really rich and amazing. So these are these beautiful block acetates that have the layers of color, whether it's, you know, the pearlized color in the red, or you have the spotted tortoise that's just really a nice take on classic. Then Northland, beautiful, that made in Japan feeling and look of the titanium construction. You have the coined edges, you have the beautiful rim, which is acetate combination with the metal. And then we do these great color combinations, that beautiful rich rose gold with the black. We also have a blue with the horn and then a navy. So nice unisex shapes for men, for women, for anyone. Again, expanding sort of the shape language a little bit. And then the Macaulay, I think this is just a nice, easy shape. And look at all the dimensions of the frames. You can see this custom temple end cap. You have the fleur-de-lis stamped as texture on the interior of the barrel hinge. And so it's just beautiful, beautiful workmanship, because that's kind of how we roll. When you have a category, you want to make sure that that category is elevated because it's a little bit more in price. So we want to make sure you feel that value. Another favorite, the Regent, where it's this nice square geometric shape. It's the combination, it's the acetate and the metal. We have some horn details. The Yorkshire, a nice round with a little bit of a teardrop, and then you have the metal combined in there on the side. And that's what's so exciting. It's like when you look at every frame, you can see that there's so much attention on every single element, whether it's the customization of the temple tips, the metal temple itself, the colors, and then here the Olsen, beautiful shape, easy, nice hardware. So we really have moved forward in a really great positive direction in Seraphin. There's some very, very beautiful styles there too. I want to talk about some color ads. So we had a color ad in the Drummond, well, the two colors in the Drummond, really organic, nice colors. We also have the Metro with a color ad. So it has that foresty color gradient down to a light blonde tortoise. Then you just have a nice, beautiful tortoise with a black temple. These are tried and true shapes, so we want you to look at them again because they never go out of style. The more we've added another one of these transparent, translucent, opalescent finishes. The Bishop, it's just a nice, classic, beautiful, light titanium, gorgeous in a gold with some gunmetal detailing as well. So lots of fun. You can see this season, it's just expanding the collections, whether it's like adding some more men's shapes or adding some more shapes overall, playing with some rounds, playing with some geometrics. You can see also trends in color where we have some browns and coppers in the metals coming out. The brushed burnished effect is coming out there. We have brick color, we have the ivory and the bone colors that we're still playing with, and then the greens and the blues, like cooler tones, those are also very popular. So this season there's a lot happening in fall, and go out there and show everybody with enthusiasm and with the same excitement that we have creating the collections. So thank you very much, and great selling.